Hi everybody. Today we're just going to finish up Sally's portrait. I am not doing this as a live today. I'm just getting it done, so I just want to get it done for us. Um, I I have so many other little things that I got to be doing, so I kind of just wanted to kind of work on this as a live. And it's not usually the day that I usually do this, so that's another reason. So I apologize, and I hope you all had a nice Christmas holiday, and that you're looking forward to the new year. I know I am, for sure. This has been quite a year, hasn't it? It's been quite a year, so hopefully in this coming year things will be better. Excuse me. And we won't have to deal with this COVID thing anymore. So the color I'm going to use here today is cerulean blue. I'm going to start out with that. I'm going to get some of this up here a little bit darker. And I'm going to put that out on my palette. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of my white. And I'm just going to use this one here. This is a titanium white from Master's Touch. If I can open it. Well, now it seems like it's pretty tight here. There we go. Put some of that out. And I'm going to just start out with that color there. And I got that all over my hands. All right, let's see here now. So I'm going to just use, let's see. I think I'm going to use this brush here. It's a flat brush. It's a number 8 flat. And I'm just going to start by putting some of those shades up in here. I also want to get a little bit of off-white, like a, let's see, I don't have anything like that. Maybe I'll just put some of this raw sienna out, because I want to get that color into her fur. And that's going to get mixed up with some white. And that's a Master's Touch raw sienna. But right this minute, I'm going to start with the deepest blue. Just kind of make sure that this is dark enough in through here. And it gets lighter as we go down. So I'm just going to add white to my brush and kind of add this. And I'm just making brush strokes here that it just kind of signifies the hair. Just bringing it up into the blue here. And then I'm going to go into my sienna, and I'm going to mix that up with white and just a tad of blue. I don't want to get green, so I'm not mixing it up with yellow. I'm just mixing it up with the blue. Kind of getting that nice yellowish shade. Just kind of going the way her hair grows. And through here. I'm just making that go the way her hair grows, like I said. Now this part up here is going upward, so we'll just get some of that little bits in there, kind of dry brushing it. But it's really bright in through here. And we'll get some of that in here, and it's going to get brighter, but with that underpiece there, it's kind of giving it that, what we need. Kind of need that shade. Okay, now rinse that out. Okay, so now I want to go into just the sienna and white. This is quite light. It's like almost an off-white. Kind of go through in here, kind of just going in the way her hair grows. We want to leave some of that under coating through here because we want that to show through. It's important for that pinkish shade to show through. This is really not bright shades here. Some of it's going up this way. It's coming down here. Her hair is so all over the place. It's but I'm dry brushing these hairs in. I'm not painting each piece. Notice that I'm not painting each piece. I'm kind of almost doing this like in a painterly style. Okay, so this kind of comes over this way. And these are kind of dark over here, so I'm going to use this. It's quinacridone magenta. It's kind of a bright pink, but a brighter shade, yeah, you know. But I think if I mix some of that with my raw sienna, just a tad because it's pretty intense, I'm going to get some of those areas where it's really like pink looking. And that's just like in through here. It's a little darker around her eye, which is just about right. There's a little bit in through here that's that way. And then right into her ear here, there's some of that pinkish shade. And I'm still going the way of her hair growth. And then there's some that like kind of lightens up here, but we'll just get this shade in first. kind of goes out this way. And through here also, it's a little darker. Some of that is in there. Sally has an abundance of different shades here. As this picture was taken, it kind of had some of these different pieces in there, so you want to make sure we get all that. Rinsing that out. But I like the effect that this brush is making, so I don't want to do anything differently as far as that goes. And we'll get this lighter shade here. Kind of get it up in through here. Okay. Actually, it could be a little darker. Through here. That's more of a bluish shade there. Excuse me. Just get some of this in here. See, that's kind of bringing that up a bit. Now, add a little bit of brightness in here, more bright here. Ooh, that's a little bright. Believe it or not, that is a mixture of that raw sienna, but it kind of just brings that out a little bit because it is a little some of that hair of hers. I'm going to go a little tad darker here, just a tad. Come up over that a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get a little darkness in through here. Ooh. Sometimes it's a little heavier than I expect, but we're going to actually, our hair goes up that way. It's going to come down. So we just want to get that darkness in there. Some of these dark shades so that when I do put the light on, it will show up nicer for this. Okay, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. I'm just going to, I'm going to go into this again, because right in here, it's kind of, I'm going to just do like a glaze here. And that's just my cerulean blue. And a glaze, I'm just adding water to it, and then it's going to, because right in through here, it is a little darker, just a little bit in through here. It's more dark than it is light. So I want to get that in there. And then we can wash this, but now I want to get into this up here too, because that's kind of like a bluish brown. But I want to get those darker shades in there. So I'm going to use my burnt umber from Academy. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Just going to put a little bit out, because there is some dark through there. I'm not washing my brush. I'm just going into it. Like right in through here. It's a bit dark. And it is dark in here. And we're going to add some blue. Wipe that off. Get my blue in here because it mixes with this brown a little bit. Okay, a little bit more of that brown. And then I'm going into my, let's see, I'm going to make some oxide here. This is that red oxide. And right around the top part of her hair there's some of that like shade. It's kind of light. So I'm just going into that. And it gets light in through here a little bit. And it mixes with that dark. Because this is light, and I'm just pulling it up, you're not going to see much of the brown in there. Kind of goes into this piece right here. Just wiping it off, and then I'm going to go into my brown. So it blends here a little bit. Blends up into that. That lightness comes in around her. And then I'm just going to put a little bit through here too, just to kind of show that off. And maybe because this should be a little darker in through here, her hair. Okay, I'm just going to get that in there. And there are dark spots throughout here, so I'm just going to kind of tap those in a little bit. It's like a greenish color and blue, that nice blue that we have. I'm going to rinse that out. Wipe off my brush, make this a little deeper here. I want to keep that green shade in there. So I might just kind of do like a wash here. Get a little bit of my water. Just kind of wash over this. So we can at least keep that green in there. Just kind of wash over all this. Probably make a couple shades of do a couple washes on this. Because her actual ear comes out like this. So I just want to get that nicely covered in there. And in that area right there, some of that oxide here. With some of the brownish shades. This is probably part of her. But I think she was laying out that way. It's just her kind of face. And get some of that umber here. Just kind of tap some of that in there too. Just kind of blend it up into that. Just kind of go over those little pieces. It's where it's darkest. I might end up putting that in with a smaller brush too. Let's see. Where's my little small brushes? Here we go. This is just that little flat one. Get some of that dark. Just kind of tapping that in there a little bit while it's still wet. Like add some shading. Now this is like a little cover, and I'm going to rinse out my brush. I still have to work on her hair a little bit more, but I just wanted to get some of that background in so that we can blend it a little bit better. I'm going to get back up here because I think this is kind of dry. We're just going to dry brush it, glaze over it again. I want that green to show through. Yeah, like that. Kind of blend it in here a little bit. Okay. Now this this is like a cover, like a little cover blanket kind of thing. She was sitting on my daughter's lap when this picture was taken. So there's some purples in there too. So I'm gonna get my little brush here. Just kind of tap some of that purple in certain spots here. There's some of this here right along that line. Right there. And then there's some right in through here that's a little bit of a purpley color. So we're just going to kind of tap this in. Almost like a glaze here too. And then this is very light here. This purpley shade kind of comes through here. And then it gets like a deep blue in through here. So, and then a light pink. So I'm going to get some of that rose shade, that magenta, quinacridone magenta. Add some white to it. Some of that white. Kind of getting like a nice pink shade. Now I mixed, that quinacridone is very strong, so I just mixed some white in there. I don't know if you can see it there. I hope you can see her as what I'm doing and stuff. So let's just tap along this too. Just tap it. It's kind of like a, I want that purple to show through, but this blanket has a variegation to it, and without making too much of a, just putting that pink on there, it kind of, because that's the way this blanket is, it's just variegated in different ways there. Okay, so right along here, this is kind of light. Now I put a little bit of that pink in there, even though you can't tell that. And then it comes down like this. looks really bright. And then it comes over this way. See if we can get this variegation look. And I am going to put a little water into that and make a glaze because I want some of those other shades to come through. This might be too bright, so let's just kind of dull that down a little. And that comes right to the top of her nose like that. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to go into my mixture of white and, let's see, raw sienna. I think what I need to do is make that a little bit more of a glaze too. We want to kind of just glaze on top of this. Maybe I'll use this bigger brush because I get more what I want here. Just trying to get that without making it, just glazing it. I just want to glaze it so that some of those other shades will come through here. I'm going to get that a little darker. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of the sienna into that mixture. Let's see how this works. And it's still a little too light. Well, we'll just tap it in and just make it a little wetter. A little more glaze here. Have some of that other shades coming through, that sort of like a yellowish tint kind of coming through here with some of that pink. So I'm going to get some of that pink on my brush, just kind of glazing it here. And in here it's really dark, so I want to get that a little darker in there. It's like a fold right in there. Okay. Just tapping it in. Just want to tap it because I'm trying to keep all those colors into this little blanket. Now it's really darkened through there, so let's see. Okay, there is a little bit of a, let me get my little, there's like a pink, little pink heart right here. There's actually a few of them, so I'm gonna just kind of get that in there. Little hearts. Indications here. Those are hearts. And I'm going to get my Payne's Gray. Kind of do that one in a little bit. Payne's Gray is like my favorite shade. That was an Academy acrylic Payne's Gray. Just tap this in. It's very dark in through. Oh, that's not dark enough. So it goes up into here. It's very dark, very dark. So I want to get that in there. And then just a little bit in here, nothing real, because her hair's coming down on top of that. And then this is all kind of tapped into, even on some of those little hearts. So we just want to kind of tap it in. This kind of comes over this way. Okay. A little bit lighter over here, but we'll get that in there too. Tapping it in. It's just the design of the blanket. Just tab light. Okay, let's see here. Get that into there. Let's make it lighter here. We're going to put some pink in there. Grab some of that quinacridone. Give that texture, getting that texture built up in there. Very dark in through there, so let me get that washed off. Go into my Payne's Gray. Just tapping, tapping, tapping. Kind of just tapping it over here a little bit. Comes down here a little bit. It's kind of dark in through here because of the shading of her. But we got the light in first, and now we can go into the darker. Darkness of this, and then we're going to add the pink in. Let that dry. All right. Just going to go straight into my quinacridone magenta, because it needs to be a little darker in through here, and I want to kind of get that darkness in through here. It's not a whole lot of dark, but I just want that so that when I do go over this, it doesn't look so weird. I'm just tapping very lightly here. Because I'm going to go in with my mixture of raw sienna and white. Kind of just get that in there. Because once you go over this with that, it kind of blends it in. Kind of makes it look a little bit more. There is some of that, you know, that has to be looking more like a roughness to this. There has to be a little bit of roughness to this. And that's what I'm trying to get, that rough look. right in there is very dark. So let me see if I can get that darker with some straight up purple. Down here with this, like that. So this is more like a more advanced painting. So I would suggest that you have a little bit of training, and if you want to be challenged a bit, this would be a good painting to get that challenge going for you. Because this definitely is more of a challenge. It's not something that's an easy painting. Then her hair comes down on top of that. So we'll get that going in there. Okay, so now we want to get a little bit of the pinkish shade in here. So I'm going to tap in some pinks. This was kind of a lightish color up in through here. And we'll go with a light pinky, purpley shade here. It comes right in through here, like over, like that. Just tap it to blend it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would say this is something that's more advanced, not as easy as the other pieces that we've done. But in a couple weeks, we will be doing a little painting that, it's a gnome, maybe a gnome painting. I did a little poll, and that's what people seem to have wanted, is a gnome painting. So we're going to do that and see how that goes for everybody. And this here is very light in through here, so I'm going to kind of tap through that too, and it makes it lighter. Excuse me. And that's the purplies. Then this meets here and comes up, tap. And purplies kind of goes a little bit more up there. Let me just get some of that in there, like up in here. Maybe a little darker would be nice. Kind of rounds a bit, comes around. Go. Okay, tap it. Tap it in there. Okay, I think that is enough of this for now. You know what? Let me just get a little bit more brightness here. A little bit more here. Oh, that's not enough. No, 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 no. A little darker. little darker. You can tell if it's too light, if it's too much of a contrast. You need to kind of break off there. So I'm going to have to go over this again with some more of the pink once it dries a little bit. I'll go over it with the raw umber just to kind of tone it down some. Alright, so this here, we want to get some of that. Sally's hair comes down here on top of this. Little pieces. Not so much here. There's just not a lot of that in there. I gotta get some of that a little darker. So it's not so. Okay, so now we're going to get some of this in here. That shade, kind of coming over here. And it comes up. Her hair comes up and around here. We're going to kind of bring some of that down over that dark spot. Now I'm using my brush, instead of flat, I'm using it off the side, just pulling down some hair here. Getting some of it over that way. Same here. You know, just use the side of your brush because sometimes that's just what you need. Just kind of lightly, I'm just going very lightly, kind of grabbing some of that texture that's underneath our coat. Now let's get some of these, like, they come down sort of S-like here. Not that many, just a few. This is her ear, so now this piece here, I am kind of bringing that brush up to her eye there, and I am using it flat like. Right in here it's really bright. Bringing up the hair. So you don't really have to paint in each line, you're just kind of indicating that there is a line there, you know, that kind of bring some of that down over that too. Same here. Instead of that bright, I don't want that brightness. Kind of getting some of that up in there. Bring some of that up in through that too. Just kind of indicating that there is some hair there. And with that underpainting that we have, it kind of just like helps to bring that along, you know. And I'm not using anything real white. I mean, this is just that mixture of a little bit of white and raw sienna. Just a tad of it. And you know what? I'm going to just get a little bit of that mixture that I made before with the blue, pink and raw sienna. I guess I have to mix another batch here because that kind of dried out. And because this kind of swirls into a little thing like that, and I'm going to have to actually kind of put some more of that other mixture in because I want to make sure this is working here for me. This here kind of comes out, and she has this little bit of droopy there. There's just a tad of that right here. Okay, let's see where else here. It's kind of dark in there, so you know what? I'm going to put just a little bit of my Payne's Gray in some of these areas here, like right in here, and just a tad right in here where her ear is, and then I'll go over it with some of that mixture again. Okay, I'm going to go with my blue, cerulean blue, and just kind of get some of these edges that make it look like hair anyways. Just using that side of my brush. Need a little bit of white and some of that. Just lightly, very lightly put some hair in here. Just a little bit of blue that comes over here to this. Okay. Now I'm going back into my mixture of raw umber and white, or raw sienna and white, sorry. I'm just kind of bringing some of those hairs out here, kind of getting those in where it looks a little So I'm going to use this little 100 brush. I have a light hair that I want to get in there. Just going to mix up some lighter white, with the raw sienna. And it comes right over her a little eye here. It's just one little hair. Like that. Kind of looks funny, but that's where it came from. And this is real light in through here, so let me just get some white, kind of like almost a ink-like consistency, and just bring a couple little hairs up here that look lighter. there's a couple that are right around her little nose too, so I think we have one almost drawn there. And then this, okay. And there's just like some that are just really lighter here, but I don't like them that light. I don't want them that light. So let's see if we can get that in there without too much. Might have to kind of tame that down a little. I don't want it to be so off, you know. Kind of just smoothing that out a little so it's not so obvious. There is hair here. Part of her ear, and this kind of goes over this way. And there's a hair, some hair that comes down and around here. Oh, I don't know if I can get this one with the big brush because I don't want to screw that up. So I'm taking my little brush, just kind of like getting one that comes down here. There's this one that comes around. A little brighter because this is important here. There we go. Okay. And there's some that just comes right in there like that. This is like before she got groomed kind of picture. Once she gets groomed, I get rid of a lot of this. Get this hair out of here is what I do. I tell the groomer, too much hair, too much. Okay, so she has a little sparkle here. Definitely some sparkle here. Maybe that's a little too much sparkle. Much sparkle for Sally. Okay. Going into my little bit of mixture here with the pink and sienna. Then I want some bright pink. Well, not quite bright, but I'm gonna make some sienna and pink with some white. too much, but I'm just going to try right here. So it's a little bit. Maybe tame that down a little. So it's not so. And I'm going into my oxide here and just kind of taming that down a smidge, just a smidge. Because I liked her nose. I don't want to screw that up. And then I'm going to go into my Payne's Gray here. Just kind of getting that a little darker here. Same here, want that darker. Right there. Just, I think that's just way too light here, so I'm just going to kind of tame that down a little bit. Pull some of this down into this. Going back into my oxide, it's going to come around here and go with my Payne's Gray and a little oxide mixture. Because her nose is kind of dark. I mean, she's a Bichon and they have like the dark noses, so I just want to make sure it's not too dark, too light, you know. I want it more dark. I'm just using my fingers here. I like the way this is looking now here as far as her nozola goes. Her little nose. Her cute little nose. Let's see here. Can make some mixture of this a little darker. And there she comes. Sally, what are you doing? Sally. What's going on? Huh? What's happening, Sally? Huh? What are you doing? Alright, so we got that. Now I just got to do that little bit of a highlight, which is more pink and white. Oh, what's the matter, Sal? Huh? What's going on? Let's see here. Right like that. Doesn't need to be a lot. And here we'll put that in there. Oops, that's a lot right there. Okay, let's clean that up a little. That was just too much. Too much. Too much. Okay, so we're going to make the other part of this darker. Because it comes down. Her nose is sort of dark through here. Comes almost like a heart shape. There we go. Okay. Let me step back here to see this. Sometimes just looking at it, yeah, that looks pretty good. It's just too distinct over here. I think we need to kind of darken this up a bit. Like come up here like that you don't actually see her nostril as much because it all blends in here. Okay. That one you see a lot, this one. But the other one is just kind of like blends up into this. And you can't really see it that much. See how that looks. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, so now we got to get that hair, a couple little hairs there. And get some white and raw sienna here. Not sure how this is going to work because this brush isn't really a... Let me see if I can find a nice little... Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to use this one. It's a number 1. It is a liner brush. Let's see if we can get these little hairs drawn in. There's just little hairs here. Little teeny hairs. Okay. Little hair here. Some of this that comes around here. And here's some hairs that come around here also. Okay. And these are the little ones that you're going to make more of a impact with. These types, these ones that are around the nose and stuff, because this is just part of her. Might look a little, can dull it down a little. We can go in there with some of that Payne's Gray. Kind of dull it down a little. Better. Okay. Yeah, some of these little hairs that come around there, I'm going to use that. Okay, so it kind of, let's see, comes around here like this. And there's some lighter hairs here. And these are just a few that I'm doing around here, only because Sally has those couple of interesting pieces here. And I'm going to make some more of that blend of raw sienna and pink. Because in here, there's a lot of that pink coming in here. So I want to get that. And it's sort of like a... And we'll go over this too with some brushes. Okay. With some more of this, like, you know, with this here, we gotta kind of come around that, but that has to stay where it looks a little bit like a shadow. And then there's something that comes over this way. Okay, these are like the little finishing touches that you need to put in. Any type of painting with an animal. You know, you don't have to get real, a ton of these things, but you want to kind of get some of these in here so that this better here, this brush, so that it looks more authentic. You know, you just don't want to. So I'm going to get some more of that, because I think we need to get some more. There's a couple light ones here. I'm going to put those in. Right in through here. A couple light ones. And I'm just using that brush. Okay. So let's see here now. Just kind of getting some of that in there so that not a lot of red is coming through. I mean, it's good, but I think there's more than I want. That's fine in here. It's fine. Just as long as we get some of those that are coming through. Okay. And I think we could probably go a little bit heavier here. Let's see here, just kind of getting that line that's there out of there. Okay. Bringing it up here. Let me just look at this from behind here. I think that looks pretty good. I think I'm just going to stop right there. I think we have Sally's painting, and I think I like it. Definitely like it. She looks so cute. Let me see here. I think I could cut this down just a tad with some blue and brown. Let's see. It just is a little too much right in here. And I want to like kind of cut that down a bit. It's part of the, because her coat comes on a slant here. Okay. Some more of this. This is a different brush. This is a number 16. And I don't want to go up into this green color here that's in that, because that needs to be there. Okay, so now we're going to go into that number flat, number 8, and grab some of that pinkish color and kind of just right here, kind of get some of that up in there. And right here it's darker. So we want that kind of dark. onto my raw. These are just little things that you see when you step back. You have to sometimes step back from your painting. Make sure everything is the way it... Oh, yeah, she looks adorable. Yeah, definitely. Definitely liking that. Very good. Well, I guess that's it. We'll be back. Oh, you know what? A couple little hairs I see that need to be put out there. Let's see here. A little bit of bluish color into my, let's see. This I'm just going to put with my detail brush. There's kind of little hairs that come out. These aren't blue enough. Not blue enough. Okay, let's get this here. This should be it. Still not blue enough. Oh, let's just go straight blue then. See how that is. There we go. These are just little pieces, and actually it could be a little wetter. A little wetter. Just little pieces that are coming over here that, and I hold my brush back. You want to hold your brush away as far back as you can, because you don't want this to have any kind of look like it actually was painted on there. So kind of just do that. Hold it back a little bit. And you get a better brush-like line. I don't want too many of these, but there are quite a few here. Oh, that should be a little bluer. Okay. A little bit bluer. Okay. I don't see any other pieces that I need to put in there, because this is just showing that it is okay, let's see here. Hold on a sec. I gotta see here if I can just get a few light blue brown things going in here. Just kind of wisping it out here a little bit, just to indicate that there are some of these little pieces here. What, Sally? What is it? Okay. Okay. All right, I think that's good enough. I think we've got it. I could probably work on this a lot longer. I mean, I see things as I go, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I better put some of those in there. So, just kind of getting things out here. Always, you can keep going and going, and you have to, like, stop, you know, because you could go on forever. Okay, this one here, I don't know if this will work or not, but I gotta cover that a little bit, because I don't want that just kind of like too red. Okay, I'm going to stop now for sure. And I hope you enjoyed this painting today. If you have, please like and subscribe. And I have some new things coming out in January that I plan on doing. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, have a good one. And Happy New Year. Let's have this new year full of excitement. Bye.